I'm here with Sidney. I just met him. We're friends now, really good friends. We go way back to about an hour ago at the Phoenix Film Festival. We're in the party pavilion, so there's a party going around us. Though I have a feeling Sidney's a party all his own from what I've heard. Now, Sidney, what's your actual last name?
Kean.
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 And you're in the movie Uncles, which is here at the Phoenix Film Festival. And I heard that you're a handful. I heard that from Andy, who produced the film.
I'm a handful?
That's what he was saying.
Oh my God.
All right. How did you get involved in Andy's group of really awesome people? Because he just explained to me all of the different connections and the Coppola and the Oscars and the Gravity. How did he end up with you there, Cindy?
Okay. I just went for an interview.
Oh, okay. You call them interviews, we call them auditions, right?
Okay, I went for an audition, interview, whatever you want to call it.
Great.
And they looked at me and said, if this guy can act, the job's his.
I wish people would say that to me. Usually they just go, are you here to deliver a pizza?
Okay.
Well, you know, you've been there. Thank you.
That's okay. It's a pleasure.
Did you have to read for the director, or did you do the normal audition?
No reading, just did silent film. Absolutely silent film.
So that's perfect. So everything is looks.
Everything was looks, everything was gestures, everything was...
I hear it's a dark comedy. So do you have anything to pull from in your history?
That'd be telling. Yeah. It's also a silent comedy. This is where
This is where you
This
get
is where
silent.
we go, omerta.
Ooh. What language was that? Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I went to Sicily this last year, and no one told me that, but you'd think they would because I talk a lot. That was not us having a stroke. That was some sort of feedback, by the way. So, Sidney, it's a silent film, so how does that change your approach to the script?
You don't have one.
Thank God, because I can't memorize, right? High five right here.
You have a script, but you don't have lines. What you have is descriptions of situations, and therefore you get those emotions in your head, okay? You know what you want to say at that point, but you describe it with your eyes and your face.
Shut up.
Okay, so when a camera comes close, your eyes have to tell the truth. If your eyes aren't telling the truth, you get found out.
So if you're thinking, oh, I have to go shopping for groceries, that's what we see.
Exactly.
And I hear you're a kid in this movie, right? There's a child actor?
Yeah, well, it's a baby.
Oh, wow.
It's a baby for about 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. So they're out of the hit. Oh, I was going to ask what it was like working with a baby, but...
And then we have the Coppola Shalom, who's a bit older.
So the director can actually talk to you while you're acting?
Absolutely.
That's got to be great.
It's wonderful. It's a bit like the silent films. Give me more of this, give me more of that, quicker, do it faster, do it less, don't do it.
I think that would be really freeing because you don't have to remember everything they told you and then say your lines.
But you still have to know the situation.
Yes, you have to be truthful to the situation.
Absolutely.
Now, what other films have you been in? Anything else?
God.
Tons and tons of stuff, right?
I've done 14 in the last 2.5 years.
Wow, you should be really tired. That sounds like a lot of work. You never go home.
No.
And now you're in Phoenix. Did you ever think you'd be in Phoenix?
No.
No. Not many of us do, really. Now that I sit in here and I look around this room, how did we all end up in Phoenix together? When you are done in Phoenix, where to next?
That depends. That depends on situations.
Right.
It could be back to London. I've got 2 TV pilots plus 2 films to do.
I'm getting the idea of you're kind of a big deal in London, in England. Kind of a big deal, this guy. I'm going to go home and I'm going to look you up on Google and I'm going to go, I was talking to Sidney. What? This is crazy.
No, you won't do that.
No, I won't do that. Are there any naked pictures of you on the internet? He took a second to answer that.
That's silent.
More silent acting. We're going to have to go back and watch the tape and look at your eyes to get the truth. Oh. If you had to watch a movie right now, what Big? With Tom Hanks? That's fantastic.
Forrest Gump?
That's a great movie. You ever wonder, now with Forrest Gump, I always thought that the Jenny character drove me crazy because I do like her and I do understand why he's in love with her. But boy, he just keeps getting shot down.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And he still loves her so purely.
Because she's so soft. Because she wants adventure. He's not that.
No.
She doesn't want to stay in the same place.
Right. And he does. He loves being at his mama's house. He loves his mama. He loves where he came from. But because of him being in love with her, he has this grand adventure, which maybe he never would have had if he hadn't been in love with her.
Who knows?
Who knows? But I love Big as well. Yeah, you like an innocence. You like a charming innocence kind of in your movies.
I like a truth. I like people that tell the truth. I like people you can see in the eyes the truth. I don't like fake acting.
That's great.
It has to be spontaneous.
Right.
Okay, you have Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
You have De Niro.
Yeah. Yes.
You have Pacino.
Yep.
We had Olivia. You have now Matthew McConaughey.
I'm glad you brought up Matthew McConaughey.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Wow. That's amazing.
Absolutely superb performance.
He's come so far too. He was the pretty boy who took off his shirt, he's tan, and that's wonderful, and there's room for that. But then Matthew McConaughey, he must have looked in the mirror one day and said, you know what? I'm better than this. I'm a really good actor, and you know what? I made enough money. I'm going to do some really good acting. Because did you see Mud?
No.
Oh, and Mud's kind of the beginning where you go, wait a second, this guy has something more to offer, and he's still beautiful, but it's a really interesting, dark story, but it's still charming. And then Dallas Buyers Club comes up, and I was blown away.
So was I.
Yeah.
I went to see it. I saw Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I saw that first and thought, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I loved it.
And the guy playing his sidekick.
Oh, yes, the chubby one.
Yeah.
Who I can't think of his name right now.
I thought absolutely brilliant.
Right.
Okay.
And he got nominated.
But then I saw Dallas Buyers Club.
Right.
I thought,
he transformed.
yeah.
And I also like things like Dallas Buyers Club too, because it shows the story of a person in regular life who's going about their life, living within the confines of what they know to be true, and they're faced with something that they don't understand. They have to rise to the occasion, learn about the new thing, and in the process they become more and they help other people.
Yes.
That's fascinating to me.
It's wonderful.
Because that's life. Every day some people are lucky enough to have that happen, and usually it's scary because it's usually because something bad happens.
Yeah.
But then you rise above and you find a new truth.
You do. That is acting. That's what it's about. It's the truth in the moment. Even though it can be done with a method, it's the truth in the moment.
Do you do Stanislavski or Meisner?
Both.
Yeah, you combine them.
I've never thought about it.
Oh, shoot. Well, I don't want to mess you up now, Sidney.
You won't.
You're going to go on set and go, oh, that stupid girl at the festival. Am I doing Meisner or Stanislavski? What am I doing? Am I doing the method?
Okay. I went to a Meisner class.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'd never done a Stanislavski. Okay. I've done the wants, the needs, the subtext.
Yes,
the text,
you probably do that instinctually because you're a smart
Absolutely.
person.
Well,
you need
I
to
would
know,
hope so.
Yeah, you need
Thank
to know
you.
why you're saying
Okay,
the lines.
now I know why you're an interviewer.
Oh.
Okay. But Meisner gives you an uncontrollability.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Meisner.
Because it changes depending on what we're talking about is with Meisner, whatever the person gives you directly before you give back, you use that. So it may change. That person might give you something you did not expect at all, and you get this wonderful moment because you react honestly like we do in life.
Yes.
Or they may just be bad, and then you get all this junk coming your direction, and you're trying to deal with that, and that's when it gets hard.
I did some Meisner in production in London that I was doing, okay, because this director was into Meisner.
Right.
Okay, so we did this repetitive stuff.
The repetition, they call it.
Okay. And the place she took me was too dark, so I had to move out of it. I broke myself out of it.
You were smart. What they do is they go back and forth with different, I believe it's feeling words in the moment, how you feel, and this person was getting you into a place where you
Felt the character should not
go. Yeah.
Because if the character had gone there, the actor would have gone there in that moment.
Right.
And that's not good. The actor has to be in control of that feeling.
Right. That's great. See, but you're smart enough to, again, you're outside of it, so you can see that you need to stop that. Now, sometimes the directors are able to step in, but this person didn't step in. That's not good. Because they have to protect you.
Yes. And the other actors actually said, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and said, you took me too far.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of Meisner. I've gone to a couple of classes, and I feel like it's, this is going to be terrible, but sometimes I feel like it's just a bunch of people who are making each other mad or crying.
Yep, that's the one.
And I don't like to argue with people if I don't have to. And that's all they do is just yell at each other. But from a feeling place and a real place, apparently. And also in Meisner, they don't give you a lot of room to be in a good mood.
No, they don't.
Like, I would say, I feel good today. And then they, like, truth.
You feel good today?
You feel good today? Yeah, I feel really good. But after,
you feel really
good today? After about 2 minutes of that, you feel crappy.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, get off my back.
Exactly.
All right, Sidney, is there anything I missed other than that? Oh, I know. How can we find out about you? Should we just Google you? Do you have a website?
You can Google me. You can find me on IMDb.
Oh, great.
You can find me on YouTube.
Can you spell your last name?
Kean.
I'm going to go look at your IMDb because you've probably been in a ton of stuff I've seen, and I'm just going,
Maybe not. But
well, who knows? But
you never know.
I like to watch a lot of British television, a lot of stuff that comes over on the Netflix.
Then you probably have.
See? But you're not on Downton Abbey, so.
No.
Were you ever on this weird little show that I loved? It was about this woman, and she was a, what they call him a vicar, I think?
Vicar of Dibley.
I love the vicar. Yeah, we weren't on that. Oh, I love the vicar. That was such a cute show.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, right? I just found it by accident, and I
Dawn French is brilliant.
So you know that show? Not a lot of people know that show, but you probably grew up with it, right? It's part of your life.
I'm not that young. Okay.
Well, he's not that.
There's a high five.
He grew up with it. It's only, 20 years old? All right, so I want to thank you. We obviously are going to keep partying here at the Pavilion, and I'm going to look forward to seeing your movie, too. Especially now that I met you, because if you go to a weird, dark place, I'll say, he's a real normal guy, but now he's all creepy. Because I hear it's, like you said, it's a dark comedy about...
It's a dark comedy.
I won't give it away. All right, it was great to meet you, and thank you for coming back and talking to us.
Thank you for talking to me.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
You're awesome.